Good morning and welcome to another episode of the Happiness is Real morning show. I'm hoping that you enjoy this beautiful Wednesday. I'm your host, Camilla Kalbeck. I'm the founder of Kalbeck Coaching and I'm a transformational coach. At Kalbeck Coaching, we help executives like yourself thrive and create a better life before, during, and after divorce. I've been there myself, and I know how important it is to thrive when you go through a life crisis as divorce. And I know it's possible to find happiness even though you're in this divorce project. Today's episode is brought to you and sponsored to you by Kalbeck Coaching, and I am so happy that we connected. So with this, let's dive into today's episode. If you followed me this week, you know that I talk about a bad family environment and a family breakup from the eyes of a child. Today, I'm going to share a client case and how I help this executive actually thrive without using her children. This topic is so important because unfortunately I have connected with quite a few men and women who rely on themselves to heal, but it's so difficult to heal when you go through a major life crisis like divorce. And instead of asking for help, they seek their children and expect the children to help them heal, and they are not ready to help the parents, and they suffer too. And that's the reason why I'm going to talk about this today, because, and you may know me by now, I'm going to break the taboo of divorce. Divorce is just a project, and we're going to ask for help much more than we do today. So I hope this session will inspire you to do or take the necessary action so that you can heal and that you can help your children heal. All right. And it's just so I don't forget, I love your comments. I love your comments. So if you show up here live, drop me a comment. That's the only way I know that you're watching. If you have any comments, if you want to share what your takeaways, share them with me live in the chat, in the text box, the chat box. Otherwise, send me a note, drop me a comment, and I'll pick it up later. All right. So with no further ado, let's dive into today's topic about how to heal without asking or approaching your children. So let me just put the scene or explain the case. A senior executive reached out to me for a discovery conversation, and she knew she was suffering. She was very open. Her career was challenged. It was disrupted. She couldn't find peace. How she normally tapped into her queen superpower, she couldn't tap into her queen superpower anymore or any longer. She was more. She was very vulnerable, very, very vulnerable, very easy to tears. She felt isolated in the leadership executive team. She really suffered. And she realized it was time to do something differently. But I think she hadn't experienced or expected what to do when she reached out to me. But she had planned a sabbatical. She wanted to go to Rome and travel a bit around, just to heal. She thought that a couple of months off would do everything. She also told me that she really suffered. And what I'm going to share with you now is unfortunately not something that just in one or two cases. I hear a lot of those cases. And that is that either the man or the wife has had several relationships, mistresses, what do we call it, a man, but has several affairs when they were married. And very interesting enough, and this is what I observe, is that these victims, it's so difficult for them to accept that that actually he's not coming back or she's not coming back. It's very, very difficult for these people to move on. It's very difficult for these people to find peace and tap into. They live in the past rather than actually saying, okay, what's now? What do I deserve? And this woman, she knew that her husband had lived a double life for several years. He's been traveling on like whatever. He had a double life. She so suffered. She said, this may resonate with you. And she so suffered. Now he has a new life. He has a new partner. He seems that from the outside, remember, you can shine on the outside, but not on the inside. But he shined as though he has control of his life. And she suffered. She felt like falling apart. It was not like in her community you should be together. She wasn't in a relationship. She just suffered. And here's the breaking point of that, the divorce from the eyes of a child, of children. So instead of asking for help, she had approached her children, and they had not had any help either. So she hadn't reached out for help. And so if the mom doesn't reach out for help, or the dad, so neither do the children get help, right? And so she really was heartbroken that when she told me, and she told me how she went and to her son and daughter and just poured out her heart, how sad their mom was, and why she couldn't help them as they needed their mom to be at this moment in time. They couldn't embrace her. So actually, I was not even dealing with one client or one person. I was dealing with 3 people. They were all suffering from this family breakup. And so what happened was that she went on this sabbatical. First of all, I helped her realize it's time to heal. So don't look in the back, don't look in the past when you really want to create your best life. And because I helped her understand that she suffered from emotionally, mentally, and psychologically, and that's why her career was suddenly being a bit bumpy right now. She didn't deliver on her sales promises. She didn't hit the targets. She was not the amazing and respected mentor or coach in the business. She couldn't energize, and she was not thriving on this level of energy that really just made everybody jump on the same level of energy and say, we can do it. There was this department was kind of falling apart. They were going from a unified one team, one voice performance and attitude to satellite disrupted performance. So, and she realized, I have to do something. So when she booked a session with me, and later we found out that it was time to work together, she had actually booked her sabbatical, and was going to go with this on her European tour. And she also realized that when I spoke to her, that it was time to heal. We digged into why she was unable to heal, or the open wounds, this loss of the grief, the loss of her husband, that he has cheated on her for several years. She was really, really heartbroken. And I think most of all, it's not about thinking, but it's like she came to that point of realization that she deserved a better life. And how on earth could she be together with a person that had treated her that badly? Nobody should be in a relationship like that. I've been there, but it's about having the gut to do something differently and break free and trust your heart. And so what I teached her, and she came back a few weeks later was that I really encouraged her to listen to her heart. Um, and I encouraged her to tap into, this is very deep for me, to tap into what mom she wanted to become, what mom she wanted to be, how she wanted to help her children. And when we did this when we peeled the onion, she could see how her children suffered. And it was just so, was it heartbroken, but still it's also what an opportunity that's emerging here, that we actually get not only to help you, but we also get to help your children. And so then she said, okay, I'm just gonna reflect on what you shared, and I'm gonna reclaim my power. Excuse me, I'm gonna reclaim my power. I'm just gonna get some water. This is strong. This is every case is there's humans behind it, right? But I helped her realize that she could reclaim her power, and it was not as difficult as she thought, and trusting herself, and that she's good enough. That's a lot of this when you suffer in divorce, from a divorce and a bad relationship, that you start not trusting yourself. You start questioning yourself. Could I have done a different? What could I have done differently? Could have been a different mom? Could have been a different partner? What shouldn't I have I said? Da 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 da. That is so many what if. What if would the situation been different? But it wouldn't, because you were with a partner who didn't treat you with respect. All right, so she went on her European tour, and she rang me, and she realized that even though she booked this amazing hotel, this flat, um, she realized it was not changing anything. And that's how it is. It's like, unless you work on your wounds, unless you work on your traumas, wherever you go in the world, nothing changes. You have to work from within. You have to step out of your comfort zone. You have to embrace that, work with the best, and delegate what the challenge that you have to someone else who can help you thrive, so that you can focus on your career and what else you love doing, where you master those things to, not perfection, because I'm never a perfection girl, but where you really know you can make a difference. And she called me from this service apartment, luxury service apartment in Southern Europe, and she said, Camilla, I'm not happy as I thought I would be, just by being here in 2 months with a lovely swimming pool and in a different environment and setup. And she said to me, "It's I'm ready to heal. I'm ready to heal, and I'm ready to step into being the mom I wanted to be and help my children heal." And that was some very deep conversations we had, and she was very honest to her children and very transparent, and she had some very open conversations with them, and where she said that I'm sorry that I shared what I really struggled with you. I should have protected you instead of really expecting you to help me heal. And through these difficult conversations, but they were so from the bottom of her heart, these this small family, they, if they were not united before, they certainly grew stronger ties. And that's why it really changed everything in how the children started to, I don't know, I'm losing the words right now, but starting to really perform in the universities, in the high schools. And so, because and why, you know that, but why was that so? And when we're in the middle of it, we don't know. I've been there myself. We don't know. It's because she removed that burden from the children's shoulders, that they should no longer care also from the mom, right? They care about the mom. And so when that burden was released from their shoulders, they could just tap into their mastery of being the adults and not the adults, the young adults, and do what they can do best, and that was to perform in the university, high school. And it was just so amazing. So the takeaway from this session is that when you realize that you're using or leaning towards your children to heal, this should be an alarm clock ringing, that it's time to ask for professional help, and so that you can heal your emotional, mental, and psychological wounds, and so that your loss, the grief, your anxiety, the divorce, whatever you are, that it doesn't affect your career, right? It doesn't affect your career, because that's what you love. That's what you love, most likely, right? It may also be that you have another dream where you're gonna be an entrepreneur. And how do you do that? But never lose your dreams, right? Never let your dreams go. Dreams are so important. And so here's, remember, listen to your heart. I can't emphasize it strongly enough. And don't, I really might, so as a coach, we don't say don't, but I really encourage you not to use your children as a mediator between you and your partner, as the healing therapist, as in this case, and I know other cases as well, where they use their children. Your children are so vulnerable. And we don't. That's why I go live, and that's why I share so openly, because I want to redefine divorce. I want to redefine that asking for help is not an option if you go through divorce. It's a requirement if you want to thrive. And so the only way you can thrive is to get help. And when you have healed, you can help your children heal. And when your children heal, that is like, that's like pebbles in the water. They will become better and bigger and brighter people. Isn't that amazing? And you will set them off to a completely different course in life, compared to haven't you healed and haven't you stepped into your supernatural power of being your queen, the queen, whatever your name is, Queen Camilla, Queen Tanya, Queen Sophia, Queen Charlotte, whatever your name is. Step into your supernatural power and your zone of genius, and do what you need to do, and act, and just continue your amazing journey. I know this is really big, so I hope this all makes a lot of sense. For me, it's really big. For me, it's very important not to use your children, but ask for help, right? So this takes us to the end of this episode. And remember, my calendar is open for those very special men and women, executives who struggle, whatever life situation, crisis you have. If you want to create a better life and get a better life before, during, and after divorce, or you struggle with something else, I really encourage you to book a discovery conversation with me. Let's see how I can help you. And I have opened my calendar for amazing laser coaching intensive session. It's 2-hour sessions where we will do deep dive and find out what is really disturbing your mind right now, and how can I help, and what strategies do you need real time, so that you can shift your energy. And remember, I talked a few years ago, whether you go uphill or you go downhill, it's about going downhill. It's like, that's not downhill, right? It's about going downhill. And you will be amazed how quickly you can change your energy to the right direction. just by this amazing later coaching intensive session. So drop me a note, and me or my team will pick up your request, and we'll come back to you as soon as possible. We prioritize your outreach. So with this, thank you so much for tuning in wherever you are, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook. I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate your comments, and I'm so happy that what I broadcast helped you create a better life, and it helped you give your children a better life, because that's so important. If you know me by now, you know how important children are, and they are so vulnerable, and it doesn't matter how old or young they are. They are so vulnerable when the family when their family breaks up, right? So reach out for help and ask for help. Don't wait for help to show up, because it won't. All right. So with this, thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, happiness is will. Happiness is will. Whatever you are on your divorce journey, it is will. And it's only a matter of how fast you actually are at executing or asking for help, so that you can shift your energy, and so that you get the right tools in your toolbox, so you can just go skyrocket. If you found any value in what I shared today, please take a moment to drop me a comment. I love to receive your comments, and I'm so happy to hear what your biggest takeaway were, and how what else I can broadcast. I have a lot of themes because I've been through a divorce myself. So, but I have a lot of themes and topics I want to talk about. But if you have something that's really disturbing your mind right now, drop me a note, and I'll see how I can fit it into my calendar. And so if you found this episode of interest and really found value in that, take a snapshot of it and post it on your favorite social platform to help your friends and your loved ones thrive through major life transition like divorce. And remember that happiness is real, and wherever you are in your divorce journey, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that the best and the next chapter of your life can truly, and I'm saying, and it will be your best chapter of your life. And it is from the deepest part of my heart, my honor to be on your journey with you and help you, support you through your divorce journey, or through the process. So this wraps up today's episode. Remember to tune in daily for inspiration and practical advice, so that you can create a better, more abundant, and happy life before, during, and after divorce. With this, enjoy this lovely Wednesday. It's sunshine out here. And be in touch again tomorrow. Bye for now.